Okay, yeah, alright. Now, to be fair, my other friends at Sega, the other people who worked with us, everyone was shown how to do things. So I had my other right operator friends that were there, just as good as I was. I was just as good as they were. I was one of the best right operators at Sega, one of the best, because the other friends I knew there, they were fantastic at what they did. But there were a few of us there that were the best, and as well as one of the best. It was one of the best right operators. Because if you know, if it was uncertain, because the supervisors would come around regularly and they'd say, "Is there anything that anybody doesn't know?" Or they come around and say, "Got to train him up on this." They were very good like that. Everyone got trained up. Everyone got trained. Everyone got shown everything.
It's 11th of December 2022. Actually, it's a bit funny because I remember being on Aqua Nova one day, and I had this girl who was working with me, and she was talking to the people out the front while I operated. I'd been operating for about 2 hours, and I was a bit over it, so I went out there and I said, and this would have happened on a couple of occasions. I just remember this would happen sometimes. I said, "Can you operate?" And she said, "I don't know how to." I said, "Oh, because you're new." She said, "I haven't really been shown yet." Sometimes it did take them a while to get to people to train them. And she said, "I would like to, but I don't know how to operate." And so I ended up operating that for about 4 hours that day. Or maybe that day I ended up operating for 8 hours. That's fun. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Everyone at Sega was trained. Everyone was trained because...
Or what would happen sometimes is a supervisor would come down, I'd say, if it was Ben or if it was Brett, and I'd say, can I train them up so that we can share turns in operating? And they'd say, yeah, sure, yeah, we can do that. So, but I do remember that people were trained up. Sometimes it just took a bit of time to do that.
Because if you were a cast member at Sega World, you had to know how to operate. You just had to know how to operate. And I trained a lot of people at Sega. That's something else. I trained a lot of people at Sega because I had to have the supervisor come up and say, "Pat, can you train this person up?" I did a lot of training there, heaps of training. But yeah. Something else I forgot about Sega. Something else. I trained a lot of people. I'd have one of the supervisors come up with a newbie, because about every 3 months, 2 to 3. After a while, every 2 to 3 months, take newbies in, and then after like about a year, be taking newbies in all the time. The supervisor would come up to me with a newbie, and they'd say, "Hey, this is such and such. Hey, can you train them up, Pat?" Or they'd walk down to me and say, "Hi." I said, "I was sent down here because they said you'd train me up." I was like, yeah, let's go. I'd train them up, show them what to do. Mainly on Aqua Nova, because I was a bit of an expert on Aqua Nova, so I'd train them up on Aqua Nova. Train them up, was very, very good at that, and mainly Aqua Nova, and Magic Motion, because I really enjoy being on Magic Motion, and that was my main training thing. Was the supervisor walk up with a person who just started. I said, "Pat, can you train them up?" He just trained them up. I was like, "Yeah." So I was very good in that way. It was very good. And yeah, everyone had to know how to operate at Sega. Everyone had to know how to operate. Very, and